Hello, and welcome to another update of 642 Tiny Things to Draw. The first doodle is a hairline fracture, and I wanted to do an x-ray sort of image. To make it look sort of like an x-ray, it's all going to be black and white, so after sketching it out, I put down a layer of graphite, smoothed that out with my finger, and then started putting in the shadows. This is all done with a mechanical pencil. For darker shadows, I'm applying more pressure. For lighter shadows, less pressure, and I am periodically... The cat just darted up the stairs, periodically smoothing out the graphite with my finger. For highlights, I'm using an eraser to take away some graphite to get that bright white of the paper back. When shading the bones was all done, I filled in the background with black colored pencil because I could not get as dark as I wanted with graphite. I think this one came out pretty good. Next up, we have the portrait on a stamp, and I am going very simplistic with this doodle. I have two letters overlapping each other. They are outlined in blue gel pen, and the portrait stamp is outlined in orange. The names and addresses that I am putting on these letters are references to two cartoons that I watched. They should not be that hard to figure out, but I'm gonna let you guess. I'm not gonna tell you. So let me know in the comments which cartoon characters you think these letters are addressed to. Now I'm adding a little bit of a shadow underneath these letters with blue colored pencil and filling in that bit of negative space with blue. I colored in the stamp with orange and added a little bit of shading with graphite. How many blue and orange tiny things to draw doodles do you think I've done by now? Because I've been doing that color combo a lot in this book. And here it is all done. Next up we have the last ray of sunlight. I had a really good idea for this one. With the Alerie acrylic paint markers, if you smudge the paint before it dries, it gets translucent and you can see whatever's underneath it. So I wanted to do that to make sun rays peeking out from behind clouds, and it did not work as well as planned. Right now I'm working with colored pencil to draw in some mountains and adding a little glow of yellow on the tops of them because that's where the sun is gonna hit. I'm filling in the sky with a gray blue, and here I am drawing in the clouds with more gray and graphite to darken it up. And here's my smudge the paint marker technique that I was talking about, and I don't know why I thought it would look better than this. This doesn't look right. And then I added some white along the edge of the cloud, which just made it look worse. Why did I think this was a good idea? I don't know. It's just a fucking dotted line. Clouds don't have dotted lines. The white didn't look right, so I went over it with yellow, which still didn't look right. So then I tried to dab it out with my finger to like blend it in a bit, and that didn't help at all. This was a bit of a fail. Moving on to a Christmas light. I sketched it out and added some shading in the bulb with graphite, then started coloring in with Artist Loft colored pencil. I really wanted to focus on the lighting of this one, so I put down some base color with colored pencils first, using yellow as the bright center, fading that into orange and then into red, and adding a reflection on the surface under the light. When I was done with colored pencils, I came back with acrylic paint markers to add highlights to the bulb, more saturation to the color, and I used my drag the paint technique again, and I think it actually was successful this time. Now I'm drawing some corks, so here's me sketching it out with a mechanical pencil. Then I outlined it in Micron, and these are accidentally very wonky lines. I did not stick to my sketch very well. Still with Micron, I'm drawing in the cork texture by drawing some odd wobbly shapes, first with a smooth line and then going over it again with a squiggly line. Then I covered the whole thing in graphite and added a drop shadow also with graphite and smoothed that all out with my finger. Then I added a bit of color with a light brown for the cork and a dark brown for the designs on the cork. That's all done. Next up we have a pipsqueak, so I am drawing a very close-up picture of my guinea pig's face. His name is Nutmeg. I'm coloring in the base with colored pencil, and I'm making strokes in the direction of the fur to get fur texture. I only did this for the brown and orange fur spots. Where he has white fur, I just left it blank. I colored in the nose and mouth with colored pencil as well. After everything was colored in, I came in with acrylic paint marker to make short dashes to resemble fur. I added acrylic paint marker fur texture everywhere, including in the white. The white acrylic paint marker is a brighter white than the white of the paper, so it is still visible, and I think it looks really cool. And here's Nutmeg's stupid little guinea pig face all done. I love it. It's so cute. Here we have a roll dough, and I'm drawing the oat plant. I outlined everything in orange gel pen first. Then I put down a layer of dull yellow and then covered that in light brown to make like a corn wheat kind of color. Then with green, I added some random splotches in the background to try to make it look like blurry plants in the distance. You can't really see it on camera, unfortunately. I added some shadows to the foreground plants with graphite, then came in with a yellow Alerie acrylic paint marker for highlights, then a brown acrylic paint marker for even darker shadows. Then I started adding some texture to the background with green and brown acrylic paint marker lines to attempt to get some like plant stalks in the background. I think this one came out really cute. It's very autumn vibes. Moving on, we have Airline Pack of Peanuts. I decided to go abstract with this one and have it entirely done in paint markers. So in the bottom right corner, I have the airline logo, and then in the negative space, just a bunch of peanut shapes, and then I filled in the background with blue, then finished coloring the logo with red and yellow. I filled in the peanuts with brown, but I ended up thinking that was way too dark, so then I painted over them with white acrylic paint, and then again with gold acrylic paint paint, and then came back with a fine-tipped brown acrylic paint marker to add the little details. Lastly, we have a sugar cube, and I was not quite sure how to approach this one. I started by giving it a dotted stippling outline with Micron because I didn't think a solid line would fit the texture for this. And then I did more stippling with Micron for shading. And then I took a much thicker Micron and stippled around the outline again, and then filled in the whole background with black. However, I had to use colored pencil. I wanted to use Micron, but my Micron started bleeding through the page and I didn't like that, so colored pencil it is. Also, if you haven't noticed, I finally switched out my teeny tiny nub of a black colored pencil for a much longer colored pencil. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to see more of me, click the link in the description box. There you can find my Instagram, my other Instagram, my TikTok, and a whole bunch of other things involving me. Also in the description box is the list of supplies. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!